The two keys decoded with Anchor Wallet. So on this episode of CryptoCurrent, we're going to look at now the esoterics of having the two keys, the two cruciform keys. We will show you some references to various movies that always show two keys when opening the treasure chest, and we'll explain the significance relating to Anchor Wallet and the owner and active keys. So if you're new to the channel, welcome to CryptoCurrent. I'm your host, CryptoRick, and without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So in the movie, I think this is Uncharted. To get to the treasure, or to find the map to the treasure, they needed to have the possession of two cruciform keys, and cruciform is the shape of X, XPR, XRP. So they show that in plain sight. In one of the scenes, basically they're in the cathedral and they're about to open the keys, and the lady says, one key shall go to heaven, the other shall go to hell. So one is like a booby trap kind of thing, and one of them takes you to heaven. But I think they figure out that you actually have to put in both at the same time. So in the movie, they put it in, each slotting in their key. Kind of looks like an A with the two lines here, right? But the main thing here is about the two keys. She says, when I count down to three, we turn the keys clockwise at the same time. So 3, 2, 1, and then turn the turn key. And this opens up the, I think it was the catacombs that leads to the treasure map. On top of the Keystone, remember we talked about the Keystone in one of my previous other episodes. The Keystone, or the stone at the top of the Royal Arch, she says it's Kalium, and she says that's Latin for heaven. Some references to corium, probably some other elements as well, but they note that down. This was another scene where they had to put in the two keys to turn it in at the same time. Here you can kind of see some sort of star or something, and the circle. Now in the movie Mission Impossible, there was also two cruciform keys that Ethan Hunt needed to use to control the entity. So the cruciform thing is the only thing capable of controlling the entity. The AI proved to be more effective. The key is divided into two halves as a safety measure, and is the AI's code, and accesses the AI's code when both authentic halves of the keys are united. It talks about here about how every government around the world is trying to get its hands on the two halves of the cruciform key. You can read the rest yourself, but basically it's hinting at AI, crypto. You need your custody your own keys, and more importantly, that the two keys are needed in its entirety to fully control the AI or system, the entity. In the James Bond films, they show always two keys needed to detonate or disarm something. I haven't watched these older ones, but you get the point. There was a photo taken of Kim Kardashian and her sister, I think this is Courtney, they were both given the keys to some city by the mayor. And obviously, this is all ritual. They weren't actually given keys. What did they deserve to get the keys to the city? But this was all about Proton. And before you laugh in your seat, hear me out. Kim Kardashian is spelled with a K, and Courtney as well. In fact, they all have K. K is the 11th alphabet, the 11th letter. If you double the 2K, so KK, you get 22, which is the master builder number. X core is actually 22. But you can see here, and I'll do another decode, these keys, the way they're shaped, is actually very significant to Proton, but I'll show that to you in another decode. If you don't believe me, there's a rocket called the Proton K rocket, which was basically a Russian type rocket that was launched some time ago, and it was called the Proton K rocket. So ask yourself this question: are we really in a simulation or matrix of some sort? Justin Bieber's, JB's fragrance was called the Key, and it's even got the key on the fragrance. The X-Core contract has the word key in it. Donald Trump holding up the key, and again, I'll show you in some later decodes why these keys are specific to Anchor and Proton. But you can see here, he doesn't just the President of the United States doesn't just take pictures with a key randomly. I'm sure he's got the key to everything. But they're basically, whenever they stand behind a camera, they're doing a ritual predictive programming. DJ Khaled, notice he always says major key alert, all right, or another key to success. So he's already putting in the collective consciousness that the key is the secret to the next. Like in the next system, how and where and the ability to which you control your key will be the major key to success, like DJ Khaled says. Of course, the handlers are telling him that this is what you have to do. You have to pose in front of this key. You always have to say key for everything, because this is what it's about. It's all about the keys. And the Bible talks about the keys to the kingdom of heaven, having the power to bind and loose. In the Uncharted movie, as we continue along, you can see that the ship was precariously, if not identical, to the ship of the bearable guy. You can see here it's even got the nest at the top where the bear is sitting. It's got the same type structure here at the bottom, the wooden and the way it's shaped. And you got some semblances of some flags or hoists, making references to the bearable guy riddles and the treasures that lead to the in the movie the ship is loaded with gold, so they find all this gold on the ships. And interestingly, if you watch the movie, there's actually two ships at the end. One ship, they were basically duplicates of each other, and I can't remember exactly in the film, but I think one of those ships ends up getting lost in sea or something, and then but they end up recovering the other ship full of gold. On Google, there's a article called "The Treasure Box with Two Keys." To summarize, it talks about a guy. This is supposed to be some marriage thing. This guy, he had access to this inheritance, this vault. He tried to open the key. His key alone wouldn't open it. No matter how he tried, he could not open it. He was perplexed. He had obeyed all the instructions, but he could not open the safe. Then along came the woman, and she too held the key, but it was a different key from the key that he held. So notice the similarity to Anchor. You've got the owner key and the active key, and the owner key is slightly different to the active key. Her key fit into it, and basically he learned that the two had to come together to open the treasure chest and it was a moral about marriage and so on. Now, remember, this is all got biblical and spiritual overtones. So as an example, when you KYC, if you don't know how to KYC your Anchor wallet, see my previous video, you actually have to sacrifice it, because what you're doing is you're importing the Anchor key into WebAuth. WebAuth, you actually have to accept their terms and conditions, and if you read their terms and conditions, they basically state that they could use your keys to force migrate, they could use your keys to ban you, to lock it out. They basically have institutional custody over your keys. But if you don't sacrifice your KYC, you lose the entire account, right? So you got your active key and your owner key. However, your owner key is spared, so one is sacrificed, one is spared. And then, the same in the Bible, the story of the two goats, the scapegoat in I think it's the Old Testament. One is slaughtered and one is released and spared into the wilderness. So same thing. Your active key is slaughtered because it basically gets consumed in exchange for getting KYC. But the owner key is spared and released into the wilderness, i.e. your deed certificate. It's kind of almost abandoned, isolated, if you will, on this certificate. The same thing. One key is Jesus, sacrificed. The other is Barabbas, spared. So in the Bible, in the New Testament, Barabbas is exchanged for Jesus. Jesus is sacrificed. Barabbas is set free. So they use these overtones, these elite people who create these systems. They use these symbologies to actualize it into their technology. So in the scapegoat story, in the book of Leviticus, one pair of kid goats, like I said, one takes all the impurities, the other is sacrificed. One is sacrificed. Then the other is cast into the desert to carry away the sins of the community. Aaron is the one laying hands, etc., on the goats. And Aaron, you can see Aaron Anchor, right? Who is the owner of Greymass, the people who created their wallet, the wallet. From memory, I think his name was Aaron. They don't just name these people for no reason. The creator of EOS, as an example, was given the word Aaron. The jester, the joker, the shriner, these people are very, very high up type of people. In the ark, the ark is boarded in pairs. So to attain salvation, you couldn't have just used one key. You would have to have boarded the ark in pairs. The ark, as we know, is the anchor, ark, But there's a duality of systems. Anchor needs the assistance of WebAuth. WebAuth needs the assistance of Anchor. Without the two, they are not surviving. They are interdependent on each other. If you just have the Anchor with no KYC, your account gets obliterated. If you've got WebAuth with no Anchor, your funds get force migrated, plus your keys get hijacked and consumed, and you no longer have direct custody. But together with the active key sacrificed to get the KYC, and then the owner key having trump over the active key and basically controlling it and managing to retain control, you basically secure your things on the ark. In summary, both keys need each other. You cannot open the treasure with one key. If you only have one active key, you get force migrated and centralized seizure by WebAuth. You will lose it all, because when you import your active key, you have to accept WebAuth's terms and conditions, their legal contract, which basically states that they can do that. If you only have your owner key, however, you also lose because you can't KYC, and you will also lose it all due to regulations, clawback, and freeze. The validators essentially will reject your transactions. But combined, you survive the purge because the active key earns, or rather is consumed to obtain KYC verification. The owner key resets the active key, backs up the account, and prevents third parties touching your assets. So that is basically a summary. Now, if you're looking at this and think that I'm overreading it, I would suggest that you actually read the official correspondence from Greymass. Basically, here they talk about having one account, two keys. The idea is that any account can have as many active keys as it wants, but the owner key will always trump any other key on the account. The example they give is if someone steals your phone and exports your active key to another device and chooses to reset your active key, you could then intervene with your owner key and basically shut down that key. They admit that we're both the owner key is the active key and the active key is the owner, and because they are the same, you are entirely vulnerable to an attack, and basically you don't have full guardianship of your account, and basically he talks about it in great detail here. I won't labor the point because the video is already long, but you should read this paragraph maybe 10 times before you understand the severity of what's going on, because the owner key in your deed certificate basically gives you ultimate control, ultimate dominion, ultimate authority over any lesser keys that someone tries to steal, copy, force migrate, seize, ban, or do whatever. So you could always generate new active keys with the owner key, but the riddle was designed if you imported your owner key into WebAuth, you get screwed. So it had to have been your active key. So the esoterics and the technology always should be used hand in hand. I don't just look at things and just tell you, this just looks like, because everyone can draw their own conclusion based on riddles. But when you pair it with technology and robust information, then you can substantiate your riddle decoding. And that's the way I do it on this channel, is the riddle decoding has to be paired with technological insight and technical data as well to support my claim. So there you go, guys. Hope you like the decode, the two keys, to put them in together, turn the keys, and by doing so you unlock the treasure. So stay safe, all the coins are all going to make it in the end. Let us surf and ride through the Kali Yuga. And as always, have a good day.